So today we're going to be talking about Elf starring Will Ferrell and James Caan, and the foods we're going to be having are spaghetti, Pop-Tarts, and Coca-Cola. This movie has a really simple premise. Will Ferrell plays an orphan who Santa Claus ends up taking in and raising as an elf. But then after he turns 30, he starts realizing, there's something wrong. Like, he just doesn't fit in. It turns out because he's a human. I love the fish out of water premise. You have Will Ferrell, who's this really soft-spoken, nice elf man who goes to New York, and then his mind is blown with everyone's negativity and being crazy. One thing that's really funny about this movie is that Will Ferrell's character, Buddy, just can't stop eating sugar. He's adding maple syrup, or he's putting candy. It's insane, the concoctions he has in this movie. So of course Will Ferrell loves the Coca-Cola. I love in the dinner scene where he just takes it and just starts chugging it. Ooh, let's check out that pour. Whoa, Coca-Cola! First, I want to give a toast to this movie, to Will Ferrell, to Buddy the Elf, to Elf the movie, to Christmas. Cheers!
Let's do this.
Oh yeah. Coca-Cola, man. If you want to get a good soft drink, that's the one, right?
There's no singing in the North Pole.
It's obviously it's pure sugar, it's carbonated. If you want to just sit down, have something a little sweet, this is refreshing. Don't drink it too often though. Don't be like Buddy the Elf, or you're gonna end up dead from type 2 diabetes. Yeah, for sure. There's so many different cola beverages, different knockoffs. There's Pepsi, but then there's also just a million no-name brands, and I don't know. There's nothing is like Coke. I feel like everything is just trying to taste like this.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
I love the imagination in this movie. This was directed by Jon Favreau, and he has so many scenes at the beginning, which, it's like stop motion animation, claymation stuff, and you're just like, whoa. It looks like, if you look at something like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? It absolutely feels like they're channeling that. They even have a snowman that appears in this movie that looks identical to the one in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. His name's Leon. I love when Will Ferrell's making the Etch-a-Sketches, and he's like, oh man, I'm going so slow. I'm doing terrible. And then he's like, well, how many have you done? And he's like, 85. And then everyone around, all the elves are like, ah! I love when Will Ferrell tries to call himself a bad word when he's like, I'm a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. And everyone's like, whoa, you can't say that. Buddy, you're being too hard on yourself, bro.
You're not a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Another gag that is absolutely hilarious with Will Ferrell is when he finds out he's a human and he just can't take the information, and he's passing out, and he's standing, and he's like, oh, and then the elf's like, buddy, are you okay? And then he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he starts falling towards him, and Will Ferrell's 6 foot, and then he's 2 feet, and he's like, ah! You feel the terror.
I'll be okay. I just need a glass of water.
I love when Will Ferrell gets to New York and we get James Caan, who's his father, right? He is so negative in this movie. He feels almost out of place, even though every character Will Ferrell seems to meet is really down and negative and brr. James Caan beats them all. At first, James Caan doesn't believe Will Ferrell's his son, so they get DNA tests, finds out it's really him, so then he brings him over to have dinner. I love the dinner. It's so basic, it's so innocent, it's spaghetti. You can't go wrong with spaghetti, right? So for the spaghetti, I just went with a basic tomato sauce. Let's try this out. Let's do my best roll. Okay, let's see here.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Okay.
He loves the snow. He's told me 15 times.
It's I like spaghetti. It's not my favorite food, right? But
I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
it's good.
You just made my day.
Good tomato sauce. Good spaghetti. I love how Will Ferrell's first reaction to having spaghetti is like, where's the maple syrup? Like how can you have spaghetti without maple syrup? And I love how the mother's like, spaghetti? What?
Can you pass the maple syrup, please?
I didn't put. It's spaghetti.
You know what? I think I have some. Yes.
You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar and syrup?
Yes.
Then yes. We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups. Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
It's funny. I've never tried spaghetti with maple syrup and the tomato sauce, so this is the first for me. Oh man, I'm kind of like, whew, I can already feel the diabetes coming. Yeah. All right, let's get the sauce on here. Let's get a good view here. Let's do. Oh God, just seeing it go on, I'm like, ah! Oh boy, here we go. I love maple syrup. It's great with pancakes. It's great with waffles and stuff like that. But oh boy, let's try it with the spaghetti. Oh my God, it's gotten so sticky. Like you just, even with the fork, I'm like, Jesus. Like, come on, man. What is going on? All right, let's do my introduction of maple syrup, spaghetti sauce, and pasta. Pray for me, guys. Ooh. All right, here we go. It's like Buddy the Elf. His delicacy, right? I mean, imagine him as a chef. Oof, yikes.
Does someone need a hug?
Oh, interesting. You know what? This is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. You know what? Okay. Like, if you just put a little bit, and maybe I won't say that if I eat, after I eat too much of this, but I'm like, oh, okay, the first bite. Okay. It's, oh, yikes. Oh! Ah! Okay. The more you have it, it's, oh wow. The scene, though, with Artie Lang as the Santa Claus at the gimbal store, oh my God, because Will Ferrell sees, quote unquote, Santa Claus, and he's so excited. He's like, oh my God, this is the first time I've seen him since I've gotten here, and he's like, I can't wait to see. And then he sees Artie Lang, and he's like, who the hell are you?
What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus.
I love how his first reaction is to get super defensive and angry. Like, wait a minute, you're not the real Santa Claus. He's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because this guy's like, it's just my job. Who the hell is this crazy elf dude? It's like one of the only scenes where you see Buddy the Elf get really mad. You disgust me. How do you live with yourself? You sit on a throne of lies. Yo, it's just his job, bro. Take it easy.
Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar.
Let the kid talk.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead? Huh? No, he's kidding.
You stink.
It's really unexpected, though, as they get into this really big fight, or it's more like the Artie Lang just attacks him, and it's funny because it goes from like 0 to 1,000 so quickly, because he's like, yeah, I'm Santa Claus, and he's like, how would you like to be dead? And it's like, what? Like, you went from like him just saying you're not Santa Claus to like, I'm gonna kill you now? Like, what? I love that part, though, where that store manager just destroys the Santa Claus that's like attacking Will Ferrell. It's insane. There's like this big thing made up of New York, and it's just crazy. I was like, oh my god, I just think about like the crew that had to build that. This movie really makes Buddy so unbelievably likable. You understand why James Caan kind of hates him, because he's so over the top, but it's like, come on, man, this guy's so lovable. Like, you gotta, just give him a hug, man. Eventually, you get to the part where Will Ferrell kind of wants to give back to his father and his stepmom now, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna cook them breakfast and lunch, and it's gonna be so great. I love how his idea of that is literally just, I'm gonna put maple syrup with spaghetti for breakfast?
Oh, that's good.
Good?
Good.
But after, he's like, okay, now I'm gonna eat. And he gets so out of control. He's like putting M&Ms and marshmallows and Pop-Tarts. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, how would Pop-Tarts taste with spaghetti? It must be really weird. I'm like, all right, let's find out. Here we go. We got the chocolate fudge Pop-Tart. Let's see here. Let's see.
He's certifiably insane.
I mean, just like cookies. How is this supposed to be for breakfast? I love how all the breakfast foods are all these like horrible things. It's like pancakes and waffles and bacon and and it's like, oh, let's have Pop-Tarts. Or let's have cereal that has a pound of sugar in it. All right, let's try to do the perfect Pop-Tart break. Oh! That sucked! Let's get these pieces onto the pot. Oh man. So let's do it. It's a little Pop-Tart action with spaghetti sauce. God, this looks so weird. Let's do it. Let's get the sauce, tomato sauce, spaghetti, maple syrup, Pop-Tart, all together. Maybe I should make an appointment with the doctor, if you know what I'm saying, before I finish this. Alert them! Come on, just look what I'm doing.
Oh my god!
Wow. This is insane.
I just wanted a hug!
What am I eating? My entire taste buds and mouth and everything is like going crazy. It's like spaghetti, maple syrup, Pop-Tart. Why are these things together? Like it's like literally none of them taste like they should supposed to taste. My whole body's like I'm not gonna survive! One of the biggest surprises of this movie has to be Peter Dinklage as Miles Finch. When he entered the movie, I was like, what is going on? His character is like out of a different movie. Peter Dinklage's character is helping James Caan with something, right, in the movie. And you're thinking, okay, like, what's the joke gonna be? And, oh God. When Will Ferrell shows up and you're like, no, don't call him an elf, no. Like, no. It's like slow motion. You're like, don't do that.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
Boy, you're hilarious, my friend.
He doesn't. Get back to the story, please.
So, on the cover above the title.
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
We're all laughing our heads off.
Did you have to borrow a reindeer to get down here?
Yes!
I was not expecting the Buddy the Elf Peter Dinklage showdown. And he's like, call me an elf one more time. And he's like, you're an elf.
Call me Elf one more time. Call me Elf.
you're an elf.
Because to Will Ferrell, that's not an insult. Like, to him, it's an endearing thing. Like, he's an elf, and he's like, oh, look, he's an elf. And like, he's like, F you, man. One thing that's not great about this movie is the ending. It's like, oh, look, Santa shows up, but he's got to help him. And then all of a sudden, there's like Central Park Rangers that turn into these like random villains that come out, and you're like, what?
It's the Central Park Rangers.
Like, they're just introduced in like the last 10 minutes, and it's like, all right, do the big bad Central Park does. And you're kind of like, yo, who cares? Like, let's get back to Buddy, man. Like, who cares about this? A lot of movies, man, they just love to have that kind of pointless ending where it's just like, we did it, you know, and everyone cheers. It's like, yeah, we get it.
Not now, Arctic Puffin.
Overall, though, this movie does have a really good message. This is a really great movie to watch during Christmas time. I don't think I've had enough sugar, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, man. It's like I'm already going to anaphylactic shock, but let's push it over the edge, right? Another toast to everyone having a fun and safe Christmas. Cheers.
So you don't smell like Santa.
Did you hear that?
You are so weird.
I never recommend anyone ever doing this. Oh, God. Oh, I mean, Coca-Cola is good, but don't chug 2-liter bottles. Come on. So, what do you think of Elf? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And what do you think about having spaghetti with tomato sauce, or maybe maple syrup, or how about Pop-Tarts, Coca-Cola? And how about them all together? Has anyone tried that? Or am I the only crazy one besides Buddy the Elf that has tried this? Let me know what you think below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more, click right here. Enjoying the laughter. Yay! Hey! Merry Christmas, you cotton-headed nitty muggins! You sit on a throne of lies!